Hey everybody, welcome back. We're back in Ezra. Ezra chapter 4 is the chapter we're going to talk about today, and it's the chapter where rebuilding the temple project goes from praise the Lord, the foundation is done, to we regret to inform you that your temple permit has been delayed indefinitely. Opposition arrives, drama unfolds, the bureaucracy wins the day for a while. That is chapter 4, and let's go! Verse 1, chapter 4. The enemies of Judah and Benjamin heard that the exiles were rebuilding a temple to the Lord, the God of Israel. So they approached Zerubbabel and the other leaders, and they said, "Let us build with you, for we worship your God just as you do. We have sacrificed to him ever since King Esarhaddon of Assyria brought us here." So the enemies of Judah and Benjamin hear this is being done, and they want to show up, and they're showing up in kind of a suspicious way. They're like cheerfully saying, "Let us build with you, for we seek God as ye do." They sounded like pirates. I don't know why, but they did. So this is sort of like someone that you know for certain doesn't like you very much, and they suddenly show up and they say, "Let me help you move your apartment." Something's off here. I don't feel good about this. Thankfully, Zerubbabel, Jeshua, and all the other leaders, they respond with a polite but absolute no thank you. Thanks, but no thanks. Really, we're good. Thank you. They saw right through this fake friendship. So, rejected from joining the project, the locals, they go full-on petty mode, and in verse 4 it says, "The local residents tried to discourage and frighten the people of Judah to keep them from their work. They bribed agents to work against them and to frustrate their plans. This went on during the entire reign of King Cyrus of Persia and lasted until King Darius of Persia took the throne. They hire counselors, or lobbyists, lawyers, to frustrate the project, to delay things. And if you've ever dealt with paperwork delays, permit issues, or a committee that just has a few concerns, congratulations, you've had a little taste of Ezra chapter 4. And the author here shows us that this opposition wasn't just one moment, it lasted through multiple kings. The author lists accusations that were written during the reign of King Xerxes. Hopefully I said that right. King Artaxerxes, which is like Xerxes, but Arta. It's like this montage of angry complaint letters. In verse 11, it shows a documented letter here to King Artaxerxes, where they're basically accusing Jerusalem of being rebellious, dangerous, dodging taxes, and they're accusing them of being historically problematic. Their argument is basically saying, "King, if you let these people rebuild, they will never pay their taxes, they will revolt, and your whole kingdom will be sorry that you let this happen. Check the history books, these people are trouble." Ezra chapter 4 is 50% construction, 50% exaggerated Yelp reviews from disgruntled people. They're doing the best to make sure that this doesn't happen. They're saying, look, these people are historically known for inciting riots against kings. If you let them build this city, you're not going to have any portion of land on this side of the river. So the people are basically like, they're building a city over there, but let's call it a rebellion because that'll get the king's attention a lot better. So the king, he checks the archives, which apparently was very well organized, and he finds that the city of old did make insurrection against kings. So the king now commands, give the commandment to these folks to tell them to cease building. Just like that, the entire building project gets the dreaded red stamp, denied, request denied. And as soon as this letter gets read, the enemies run to Jerusalem with that, aha, we win energy, and they forcibly stop the builders from building. You can practically hear their evil laughs from here. Okay, that's enough. And the chapter 4 ends with a depressing summary. In verse 24 it says, "So the work of the temple of God in Jerusalem had stopped, and it remained at a standstill until the second year of the reign of King Darius of Persia." The temple project sits unfinished for about 16 years. Ezra 3, if you remember, ended with a worship party. Ezra 4 ends with a government shutdown. So chapter 4 basically tells the story of how the local enemies of Israel pretend to be friendly, they get rejected, they immediately become the worst HOA of all HOAs. They hire lawyers, they write emotional complaint letters to the king, they dredge up old political dirt on their people, the opposition, the people that they don't want to build this temple, and they get the entire temple project shut down. Bureaucracy triumphs and construction stops, and Israel gets stuck in a 16-year pause. Thanks a lot, Rehum and Shimshai. Those are the guys that wrote the letters. All right, what can we learn from this today? First thing that kind of sticks out to me is that not everybody who offers to help you is actually helping. Use your discernment. It matters. The second thing is that spiritual progress always attracts opposition. The moment you start making decisions in your life to follow God and to be more closely aligned with His purpose for your life, you're going to notice attacks from the enemy start to come on you more and more. Because building anything for God invites resistance from the enemy. The next thing is that lies and fear can stop the work, temporarily, but it won't stop God's long-term plan, so keep on trucking, stay faithful. God wins in the end. All right. Challenge that I have for you and for me today is, where have we experienced delays, resistance, discouragement in our lives? We need to stop and ask God, God, help me to discern opposition from distractions. Give me persistence even when the work feels like it's paused. And remind me that your timing, not obstacles, decides the final outcome. Then commit to making one small, faithful step forward, even if all you're doing is praying over a still unbuilt foundation. Keep at it, because God is faithful. Won't He do it?